What did you think of particularly the portrayal of the Aga? What did you think of the? What did you? Let's call them what
The Dora
let's call them
Milaje, should we just call them that since you know how to pronounce
basically
it?
because that was
Respect
something
on those
that's
women.
actually been
And
good.
that's why all of this is just it's a lot of it's mixed to put it kind. It's been mixed reception wise. Like
To be woke is to be aware of what is around you. The sufferings of others are included in that. How your actions affect other people are included in being woke. We got we got grandma over here undercutting the parents. That's what we got.
Grandma was sitting there hit the fuck up.
Hit
She was
that
chilling on the
weed
left.
right
Nah,
now,
I
left, man.
know.
She was in a good mood.
Grandma was. Yeah, grandma was.
Grandma
That's
looked
basically isn't that how grandparents are history? Like, they ain't my kids. Let me be wild.
But it also has given places where we can actually utilize it for journalism. We can use it for protest. We can use it to be able to get ideas to kind of coagulate a little bit better. I'm so black on this screen.
I had a dream.
Gotta hit that light.
damn.
God damn. There's a light directly on my face. It's a hitting me and glistening me. And it's got me looking like the gristle on a chicken. I mean, not the good kind. I mean, the white lady. I mean, Sister Agatha's green, looking old musty ass chicken on a Thanksgiving Eve.
Rev, you are losing
Dog,
you're
I
losing
am
the
so
congregation.
dark. Dog, I am so fucking dark on it. So my screen on my camera is totally different from the screen that actually shows on the scene. So I'm gonna double check. But yeah, dog, I look like I'm extra chocolatey today. So, with that, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, people who could form the gender norms, and people who say, you know what, fuck that. Jason, aka Jason Blanks, said History Williams, looks very fantastic on this camera, and I don't give a fuck what other people say. I want to welcome you guys to the Historical Voices from the East Side. And if you look over there to the right side, he is our movie reviewer. He's our East Side reviewer, aka the unwise man, Jamel Watson. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There's cable back there. All right, next. We have our person who is our voice of reason. He's our residential voice actor, our African. Give a big round of applause for Jonathan JT. Man, let me redo that one, man. I feel fucking bad. Let's roll that back up.
Do you want me to just introduce myself?
No, Negro, I got this. This is my role.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
This is
A hero.
This is our residential voiceover artist, as well as also our voice of reason for the week, Jonathan, aka JT, the voice. Round of applause. We got titles and everything, dog. We on shit prediction. Production value has gone up a tad bit, and a soundboard. Yes. So with that, man,
I got guys, so this is what we gonna call the salty edition. This is the first salty edition since January, and I have an odd salty edition for a movie that I saw this past weekend.
Mhm.
It was The Flash. Now, the last few movies that I've journeyed out into the wilds, I've enjoyed. There have been things that I have loved about them. Spider-Verse, Guardians Volume 3, and of course, Transformers with the Beast Wars, Part 10. And then we get to The Flash. If you've been following the box office news, you know it has not been the best of times for Flash. And in one of the only cases that I can recall in recent memory, I cared so little about the superhero stuff in the movie, but I was invested in the stuff that wasn't superheroes. And the main reason that I didn't give a shit about the superheroes is because of the CGI. There's an overabundance in the CGI that we got in this movie. And it is, on the whole, ass. And I don't just mean regular human ass. I don't mean your cat or your dog's ass. It
You mean
is
pay your graphic
100%
designer's ass, huh?
rat ass, like Silky
Oh,
Johnson coat. And let me be clear, I do not blame the effects artists. I don't blame them. They were probably pressured, crunched, whole bunch of bullshit that these artists go through. I blame the studios, and this is a larger problem that gets on my fucking nerves. And it's been getting on my nerves with Marvel, and it got on my nerves with Warner Brothers over this past weekend. Take your time and let your goddamn effects artists work on this stuff. Make sure that it's right. Y'all are multi-billion-dollar corporations, the two largest media corporations in the country, probably on earth. There should never be a case in a Disney movie or a Warner Brothers movie where you sit back and it's like, wow, the effects are really shit. No, y'all have more money than everybody. I can see if it's some indie company, indie film producer, they ain't really got a budget and they got some shitty effects. We can't be mad at them. They ain't got the money for it. You are Warner Brothers and the Walt Disney Corporation, company, whatever the fuck. Y'all have all the resources in the world. Y'all have the ability to have the movies come out whenever you want to, so you don't have to rush any of these projects. It was inexcusable over the last year when we were seeing this shit with Marvel, and we had the bad effects in Thor. We had some of the wonky shit with She-Hulk. It's inexcusable for this movie because this movie was delayed a fucking year. This was supposed to come out last year.
years.
Why do the effects look as bad as they do? And it really does take away any enjoyment that you have. All you can do is just laugh. All you can do is just laugh. And it's like, God damn, y'all had an extra year to clean this up. Y'all had this delayed via COVID. And yet and still, so many of the effects in this movie are terrible. And it takes away from a majority of the enjoyment that I had. It was Ezra Miller is a fucking menace to society. He was actually good in this movie. He was able to play himself and less annoying in a much more annoying version of himself in the same movie. And my God, I almost forgot that this man once on live television sacrificed a small cow in the name of this god Bazula, who is a hippo with a bat's face. Like he's such a problem in real life. I don't like him. He should not be in any of these movies, but he was really good. Fun seeing Michael Keaton show back up. And yet, these shitty effects on the Flash, these weird ass baby effects, it's terrible. And it really does. The movie didn't deserve, I don't believe that movies or studios or whatever, you make what you make. This movie deserved to be a box office bomb because of the poor quality in production. They can't reboot this thing fast enough. It doesn't deserve, this movie doesn't deserve money. It is terrible. And honestly, saying that he has black Air Forces, he wears white Air Forces. And the whiteness is why Ezra Miller hasn't faced as many consequences for his actions over the last couple of years. Because
As
if Ezra had a little bit more of my shade, they would have found a way to fire him. SAG, be damned. But The Flash, if you ignore the shitty effects, this is an actually halfway decent movie. But the problem, the effects are right in your face. They come out the gate with it. And it's just like, well, can't fucking take this seriously because of these stupid ass effects. So yeah, The Flash, the story enjoyment is like a low edger. Because of them effects, it's a dumpster and they can't reboot fast enough. Fuck these studios and their greed. I said what I said.
This is why I try to tell y'all, don't pay no money for movies that aren't good. Stop giving them money. You heard it from your boy. Don't go pay for that. It's not worth it.
That's that long Halloween fucking energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's that long Halloween energy, Jamel. Round of
No, it
applause for
ain't.
Jamel.
Because
Bruh.
here's the
Go ahead.
thing: Long Halloween is watchable compared to what the fuck I saw with the. It is uncanny some of that shit in that movie. So I
Damn.
don't want to insult Long Halloween by comparing it to the quality that we got with the
You
Flash.
don't mean the
So,
Calendar Man special? You think that's better?
yep.
The calendar.
I tell you what, I'll watch Long Halloween before I watch this motherfucker again.
Oh my god, that's a bad test. All right, with
If
that,
you go,
man.
and you know what? If you're gonna go to the movies this weekend, just go watch Transformers. I think Spider-Verse is still in theaters. I think Guardians might still be playing. Watch any of those three movies. Avoid the Flash.
Juan said that with a fucking Nikon that didn't breathe. God damn. Oh, yo, which by the way, fat shouts out to Garcia, man. He is one of our honorary fucking historical voices for this podcast, man. So big shout out to that homie and everybody else who's
That's
watching.
right, Garcia. He covering that Spanish demo.
Yeah.
You heard wrong, two names. You heard wrong. You heard it right here. Don't go see that movie.
Don't go see that movie. Watch that movie on HBO Max. I refuse.
Wait till it's on
HBO
Max. I'll say this. Wait till it's on Max. Don't spend that much money on the movie.
Yeah. So with that, man, this is a salty edition. So if you don't know what the salty edition is, this is basically where we take time to shit on shit for the rest of the actual show.
Shit on shit.
Shit on shit.
Shit on shit. Wow.
Just fucking destroy.
That is a visual.
That is, we can't. That's the easiest way I can say it. We are going to destroy a lot of stuff in this podcast today. Bruh, you know what, man? Seriously, this is the times that we need to get back. If it was easier to do when we had the fucking sponsor done the episode, or we were sponsored by fucking what was it? What was the food one?
Sponsored by Morton Salt. This week we sponsored by Morton Salt. Sponsored by Lowry's. Season your food with Lowry's.
How's that different? I was going to say it something like that.
Or for our Spanish demo, adobo. Make sure you use that adobo.
Oh my
we
God.
are for Goya.
No, it wasn't Ray Shadow Legends that we were sponsored for. It was
Oh, that's right. Goya is muy racial. So maybe you know what?
Bro, I forgot who was our sponsor, but it was for one of the food delivery companies, bro. And we had the best fucking episode because we were saying sponsored by this person. It's salty edition.
Was that the Hello Fresh episode or whatever?
Yes,
it was the Hello. Was that no? I don't think that was the
Hello Fresh.
Hello Fresh, dog. That was the Hello Fresh one, and it was so hilarious because like Jamel was like trying to slide in. You know, it's not salty. Hello Fresh, bruh. I don't care what anybody say. That was the best sponsored episode. And you know that I shit on fucking games so sponsorship. I would fucking take the sponsorship again from Hello Fresh so we could do a salty edition again because we fucking go hard in the paint for a salty edition. So with that, this month, as of like the reason why it was a little late this episode is because of the fact that we was having a hard discussion about our movie today for our available free trade of the month, which is Spike Lee. Spike Lee.
He's no longer he's no longer Velvet Freight Train. No, there's no video that we ain't gonna play the video this week or next week. He's lost because of this movie. He's lost his status. Spoiler alert, folks.
Fuck it.
So Spike Lee.
Yeah, go ahead. I just don't understand how he managed to like really lose his
find out when we review.
If you watch this shit, you'll understand it completely. Because God dog, this was a bad idea for a film.
This was terrible.
We should just do this shit now so we can get it out the way and we ain't got to talk about it anymore.
We can.
All right, so movie we reviewed this week is For the Sweet Blood of Jesus. Go right ahead, history.
But first, JT, you shared a fucking guy. and he this post. Please talk about your political post. Do you remember that actual post that you had earlier?
You the one on Facebook? Well, let me go find it. Or maybe
Gotcha.
you could tell
Regarding
me about
Juneteenth.
it, since
It
you
was
know
regarding
what I'm talking
Juneteenth. It was a Juneteenth post.
Is this the one I'm trying to talk about in Voice of Reason? Hold on.
Gotcha.
I think it was either Charlie Kirk or Josh
Yeah.
Howley. Somebody who said some fuck shit about Juneteenth.
Yeah, I got the Charlie Kirk one. Hold on, give me a second. Let's come to that in just a moment. Stall with something else, and I'll handle that.
Well, no, actually.
So did y'all see that story? That fucking sub sinking, looking for the Titanic.
There you go.
Oh my god.
So apparently, these people fired the person who is in charge of safety. They fired him. And then it was just like, you got to cut corners somewhere. You got to take risks. At some point, the more safety stuff you put on, the less it matters. And then his ass went down there and he got squoze out that tube like a toothpaste because of the water pressure. I don't know about y'all. That's funny to me. Like you didn't physics, bruh. Physics don't give a damn about your attitude. Physics don't care.
Kid on there, bro.
Physics is not a respecter of people. You can't go in there with enough energy to keep that tub afloat. Y'all would have to fart so much to create enough air pressure inside the cabin to actually keep that thing from crashing. It's just not gonna happen.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
All I can think is, wow, this is some shit rich white dudes would do. I don't see a group of rich white women doing some shit like this. I don't see no type of minority groups doing some shit like this. I don't see poor white people doing some shit like this. What is people's obsession with the Titanic? Like, the movie ain't enough. The documentaries aren't enough. People, do you have to go down there to view a graveyard and a shipwreck? Like, it's just so stupid. And it's like, is being a billionaire that boring? Like, is it? To be quite honest, like I would love to find out, because it's like you couldn't think of nothing else to do with your time, your money, all the resources. Y'all decide to get in that tube and explore the Titanic, and now, because nobody really thought shit through, all y'all dead. What?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I do, but I feel like here's my thing, man, and like and even though like this is salty, right? I feel sad that the group died. That's sad that they died. I get that they have money to be able to experience shit that like a lot of us probably will fucking try to experience ourselves in different ways, in different contexts. And I think about the people who are like fucking middle class or upper lower class, and they take their partner on a helicopter ride over the city, and then they get off the actual helicopter, and then they say, "Will you marry me?" But we also remember, like, what it was 2 or 3 years ago, fucking Kobe Bryant died on a fucking helicopter. So I can't say that that's rich people shit. What I can say is that it is definitely a clout experience. It's not clout chasing. It's a clout experience. It's for you to sit there and say that I did something for clout, but realistically, it comes with its own fucking task, and it comes with unnecessary like risk for a lot of things, man. So Kobe died avoided dog. What the fuck?
Garcia, goddamn.
Oh fuck! Kobe died of
Sir,
he's not wrong. God. If you would have just took a taxi,
oh god,
hit that Uber,
god
bro.
Damn, John.
You would have been here. You would have been here, Mamba. That's all I'm saying. He's not wrong at all.
And you know the sad thing is, because of the fact that that's what Kobe used to. The reason why they gave it to Kobe, because Kobe used to say that he didn't like to be in traffic. He thought it was just faster and efficient. Oh God, dead ass.
On a human, I'll say this. On a human level, it's sad that people died, that them people died in that too. On a human level.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie and say I wouldn't try and do some dumb shit if I suddenly came up on a couple $100 billion. You think I'm not gonna do some gladiator style stuff and have the bear fight the lion? I am gonna do some horror. It is gonna be some horrible shit that I do. At least once. At least once.
Yeah.
Oh shit. My bad.
Shit. Oh God, pimp
My phone
down.
fell.
Pimp down. Oh God.
Man, the stress. Hold up. Yeah, my damn fucking tripod messed up. My
That's
bad.
okay, man. Go ahead, do your thing. So with that, man, I just feel like it's a lot of like I feel like a lot of people lost their ability to have sympathy about the situation. But yeah, excuse me. This is definitely a situation where like physics should have told you that like you're not supposed to be doing this shit. You should not have you shouldn't have been down there, bro. I don't see the fascination with the actual Titanic. I don't see what people were excited about it. I
see the fascination with the Titanic because it's a big wreck that you can't get to normally.
Hey, I'm back.
And so people like, hey, you want to go to some shit you can't normally see unless you're a rich guy?
Yeah, I want to see a dead body.
But like the company that did it was like, oh, we gonna cut some corners and stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually had a friend post on Facebook.
Capitalism.
One of their friends knew the billionaire guy and was like, oh, he sent a plane to Afghanistan to help evacuate people.
I don't know, man. I just don't give a pass to it, bro. I feel like
if you own a company and your product fails, well, you went down with the ship, bro. So it's on you. It literally.
I see what JJ did there.
The sub
is on JJ did.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like some stuff that you should just be kind of like. You should be restrained from. There should be some restraint from that shit until there's been some proof and some testing for it. And it's been like said in many different ways that like nobody was able to approve this shit. The safety of this was completely done. Dunsky. So no, fuck that. I understand that sub down, and I feel bad that this happened. And again, the youngest person was 19 years old. That's fucking tragic.
They had dumb parents, and nature is undefeated.
Yes. So like for like you, JT, like I became friends with your wife at 19 years old. We became friends. That we were in fucking college, right? Jamel was not like, put this in context. Jamel was 19 when he went to GVSU. He was at GVSU, and I think he was a sophomore during that time, right? You 19 getting your first fucking crib, right? Like we're doing baby shit at that point in time. So 19 years old, you're just kind of starting your fucking life. So I just feel like that's wild. And apparently there was an interview that said that like apparently the boy didn't even want to go, which fucking is sadder about that situation, man. So
I imagine being a moody teenager, like, Mom and Dad, I don't want to go to see the stupid Titanic. And they're like, no, get in the car, Henry. And then you do, and you die.
Bruh.
You
that whole time you talking shit.
PlayStation.
The whole time that they going down and sinking, he talking shit like, wow, I didn't even want to be in this motherfucker. I wanted to stay home, play whatever the game de jour for the young people is.
You know,
he was saying that I hate you, Dad, Mom's a hoe. He went the full bad teen on Maury gamut with the languages.
Yeah, he would have been right.
And he would have been justified.
Elizabeth was fighting.
Them Sally kids that got sent to a survival camp. Brush your teeth with this toothpaste and just your finger. Yeah, it's so goes.
You think that Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana was fighting in heaven. Bro, picture the bro if that 19-year-old person seen his dad. Fuck you, Dad. All the fuck way.
Oh my God, this
you know
chat,
what? I'll
this
take
is
this L,
this
Lord.
chat has ever been. I'm so happy y'all.
Y'all know what?
Remember,
y'all know what this also teaches me further.
Yeah,
I don't want the very first version of anything. Like, imagine how reckless the very first flying cars and jetpacks are going to be. Wait until like model 6 or 7. Like, remember how shitty the first Iron Man suit was, and how Tony had to give me one that's down the line that people have tested. I ain't trying to be in that first one.
Listen, bro, that's not the problem. The problem is physics. The problem is some rich asshole thought that he could outmoney physics, and it didn't work. Now, I don't know if he's a rich asshole, but he is rich. So,
Yeah.
Speaking of rich assholes, it's still funny that Elon Musk's spaceship blew up before, like right as it was taking off. That was hilarious. Fuck you.
So
Yeah.
so which, by the way, just about the booty war, Scat Straight gone wrong. Fucking
Whoa.
Fleece Johnson is fucking out. Did y'all hear about that shit? And nobody knows what this
I,
motherfucker
he's
is
been
at.
he's been out for a couple years now.
No, he
Please,
hasn't, man. He just got out.
if you don't recall, I like shit, I want shit.
Yeah,
We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way. That's the
But
guy.
you gotta do the voice.
you gotta do the voice.
Not see Tom. Now, Tom, I like shit, I want shit. And we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Choice is yours, Tom.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
God damn.
Dog.
Choice is yours.
Yeah.
That episode is wild. Like Tom was literally fighting for his manhood.
Tom was afraid
Just-
of going to jail and being anally raped.
Yeah.
The best
That's not an
best to offer is that episode.
that's not an unreasonable fear though.
It's not.
Yeah.
It scare you straight, just like Tom.
It will,
He was
I went to like my 5th grade teacher. We had an all boys class. He took us to a jail. We did a jail trip because apparently hardened criminal that y'all know and I've been working with these last few months. I needed to be scared straight. We went, and one of the guys in my class, one of the dudes locked up in the cell, he got grabbed. He got grabbed at by one of the prisoners, and he got told that he was pretty. And I hope that he turned his life around, because the second a grown dude in prison call you pretty, you got some choices to make about what you want to go to, like where your life want to go to. Like, I don't think I like being called pretty by another grown man. Like that is unsettling.
That's when you fight, dog. That's when you fight, and you let them know it ain't going down like that. And then if they don't take 4 dudes, and then just make it happen.
I see you want it the hard way, Tom.
Right.
See, they call you Chris Hansen. I call you Chris Hansen.
I call you Chris Handsome.
God damn.
Now, booty is more important than food. Booty is more important than water.
Booty. You gotta hit that booty right, dog.
Bruh, and he went on
Booty.
interview and still
I came here for booty.
And he still said that he was gonna go after booty. Bruh, and the
booty is more important than escape plan.
They don't know where he's at.
Y'all
That's
gotta
the
go
problem
watch the
it is.
Boondocks first 3 seasons. Ignore that 4th season.
Send him over to one of them. Send him to Russia and like have him just terrorizing the Russians.
Something not right about not knowing this verbatim. See, Joaquin, I like you and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way tonight, and we can do this the hard way. The choice is y'all.
Have him go after Putin. Now, Vlad, I like you and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way.
They're close to the same age too.
Vlad, like, nah, bro. We don't do that here in Russia. Now I see you on this the hard way, Vlad.
Oh God, damn.
Now, okay.
Let's talk about now. For the purpose of this, I do agree. We should just kind of fucking knock this out. This film out. We should fucking knock this out. We're gonna do this the hard way right now. We're gonna go through the rest of this fucking film right now.
Yep.
And
all right.
No, the way that Jamel did. All right. This is a job.
Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the movie review segment of Historical Voices from the East Side. We were doing Spike Lee movies this whole month. We still are. We're gonna finish out. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, this shit came out in 2014. It's Spike Lee's The Sweet Blood of Jesus. It's about this rich nigga who is turned into a vampire because it's some African shit. And it's actually a remake of a 1973 film by the name of Ganja and Hess, and
which we probably should have watched instead.
This was Spike Lee's first movie to be funded through Kickstarter, so cool.
Oh my God.
And it was released VOD, deservedly so. This being a VOD movie kind of explains a lot of things, and it came out in the year that it did. All right, so this movie opens up with a whole Chris Brown dance routine around Brooklyn.
It was better
That
than
has
Chris
nothing to
Brown.
do.
It was some straight good quality dancing, and it made no sense, and it had shit to do with the movie. We never see the dancer again.
We don't know if he a
Dude don't walk
vampire.
past him throughout the film, like in the third act, nothing. There's just a dancer, and he's going in doing all his little, you know what I'm saying? All
Has
this
his
shit,
little stomp the yard.
doing
You
his
got
little
served
pirouettes on his
routine.
Jordans,
Oh, God.
and then we never see him again because that's the opening of the film.
Damn.
And it was really on brand for Spike Lee.
Spike Lee's.
Spike Lee does weird shit in movies, and it's like I think it's because of how he studied film and like the kind of filmmaker he. Sometimes a straight up A B C plot, it works. It's not like dog. You don't have to do extra shit.
Movie,
Oh God.
The choreography was great. Like okay, so we
part
are.
of the movie.
I
She's
mean,
not
that's
wrong.
not incorrect. That's not an incorrect thing. History. What did you think of the opening routine by Omarion doing his little thing? What did you think? The lost member of the Little Saints.
Oh God.
Not a real name.
I didn't care about it no more because of the fact that like the rest of the movie fucked it up for me. But for
his name is Lil Buck, and he is the juking dancer.
I didn't care about any of this after the first 2 minutes after this dance.
His jerseys were cool as well.
Yeah, I forgot that there was a dance routine, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not even me trying to shit on it. I am trying to shit on it. That's the purpose of this episode. I forgot about.
All due respect, you have no respect.
I forgot there was a whole dance scene. I just remember a dude with a white beater just fucking dancing on top of a rock at one point in time. And I was like, where's the fucking dancing rock dude?
And the rock said like red block or some I don't know.
Red Hook, because I think that's where Spike Lee's from.
Yeah,
but,
Red Hook,
yeah.
So the movie
so that was filmed in like Atlanta, Georgia?
It was all over New York and Brooklyn and shit. So the main character, Hess Green.
Oh God.
This nigga. So
you talking about Dick Long? Mr. Dick Long.
Dick Long. Okay. That's a part that I want to get to immediately. I am a huge fan of HBO's The Wire. I think it is one of the top 5 television shows of all time, and it ain't number 5. The woman who plays Lucky Mays, the prostitute, is one Felicia Snoop Pearson. Now, Snoop is an excellent character in The Wire, and she is very much gay, and she's not in favor of the penis. It is so jarring seeing her in this movie, seeing how she gets down in The Wire and in real life. That immediately rocked my fuck. I'm like, whoa, Snoop? And like she had to act all seductive with the dude. It was that whole fucking okay. So before we get to Hess gets this Ashanti artifact from his homeboy Lafayette, and Lafayette is wilding. And
for no reason, y'all. I've been look. He had a little bit of gin. He had a pint of gin, and all of a sudden, in the next scene, he climbing a tree with a rope around his neck, talking about he gonna jump. And then one black dude
out of nowhere,
black dude. Hey, bro, you know I'm the only black guy on Martha's Vineyard, so if your body shows up, they're gonna drag me in questioning because come on. And his buddy was like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna come down. Yeah. So that was the most believable part of the film because he didn't want to inconvenience him. And then in the morning, Hightower tries to kill Dr. Hess, and so it was really more polite than killing himself in his tree, though.
For literally, again, guys, no reason is given. These events happen. There's no build up to Hightower losing his mind. None. It's just Hightower, old lightweight ass, gets a little drunk, climbs a tree with a rope, and then in the morning attempts to kill his homeboy, and we get it.
Oh no! He successfully kills his homeboy.
Successfully kills him. Yeah.
No, Hightower
right.
tries to kill Hess. Hess
No.
counterattacks
Hightower successfully
and
killed
kills him.
Hess.
No, you know what? Y'all are right. Y'all are right. Hess gets killed. Hightower loses his mind, and then he
kills
unsubscribes
himself.
from life.
Yeah.
I was gonna unsubscribe from life is.
Oh yeah,
the way
yeah.
of
We're on
saying
Twitch.
that.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We switching
he
to
chose
YouTube,
not to
y'all.
renew.
We switching to YouTube, so I'm already there.
He's going to that streaming platform in the sky.
Yeah.
So this guy,
there it is.
this guy is dead. Hess is now a vampire,
Yeah.
and not like
But
not
listen,
like
y'all,
a cool
listen,
vampire like
hold on,
Blade
freeze frame though.
or
Jamel, tell him how well this is not explained.
like, you know how if you are a fan of the television show Lost and the way that they explain that plot and it's convoluted and all of that, or Inception, the rules of Inception, it's explained more clear and direct in that than it is about this movie. We get no explanation. We get no explanation or explanation. We don't have any idea what the fuck is. We have no idea what's going on. Period. It is so confusing. Again, the events just happen. Like it's almost like out of a random name generator or a hack, or you ask a crackhead, hey, what should we do in this part? Then you're like, okay, cool. Then you ask this drunk person, all right, what do we do here? Cool. Then you go talk to this insane person over here. All right, cool. Bam, the shit happened. It is so stupidly put together. It is ridiculous. History, do you have any thoughts about how the first few minutes of this mess go?
First off, which by the way, yo to the man Candy for this, but the first part I really got like my squabble with all of this. I hate the fucking names. The names don't sound realistic. The conversation itself did not sound realistic. None of these conversations.
That was only because the dude who played Hightower was a really bad actor.
Everybody was a bad actor in this fucking film, but
I didn't think Ganja was bad.
I think Ganja was absolutely garbage.
Really?
Yes.
All right, we'll get into that.
But yeah, so
at least she was British. You know, that made it different.
Yes, fair.
So we was cracking on Hess though, Stephen Tyrone Williams, and I turned over to Wakia, and I was like, is it just me or is he doing his best Rami Malek right now?
And look who shows up in the movie.
Yeah.
That's what
this is before Rami Malek. I think this is before he like blew up. This is before
14.
Freddie Mercury joint.
I think that was the start of Mr. Robot.
Yeah,
wow.
This is
the first thing I remember seeing Rami Malek in was in the Need for Speed movie with Jesse Jesse Pinkman. And that movie was generic.
So my very first experience with this is, like I said, again, the conversation wasn't realistic. You seen Hess kind of like not really talking the person off the ledge. He just was like, just don't kill yourself here. You can kill yourself. Just don't kill yourself here. Like, that was the inconvenience of the thing. And it very much so didn't feel like a realistic conversation. And then the part that I had a problem with is the very first way that they were explaining the African tribe. They kept saying they were the first tribe to introduce blood transfusion. Not drinking blood transfusion. So that means you're inserting your blood via basically through your vascular system, right? So I had a big issue with like how they were explaining the tribe story, and it felt like it was very much so like they didn't understand the story of the actual tribe itself.
Dog, for real.
They did not understand the actual true story.
It didn't feel like they were trying to drop no Ashanti knowledge on us.
Yes. So when I was looking at the movie, I was like, first off, this is an ugly ass knife. I thought the red little dots on the actual knife was like maybe capsules, and
no, it was a sheath.
It was just a sheath, yeah. And so I was like, that okay, cool.
It was decoration.
Yeah, and then the knife itself, apparently, this is the only thing I can attribute to it, is that the knife had apparently blood and skull fragments on it, and that's how he inherited the ability to drink.
But you can't give the movie no credit for explaining that, okay?
You can't.
You can't give the movie no credit. And this is the thing, that these little details would have made the film palatable.
Yeah.
Okay, but they
No, it
weren't
wouldn't.
there.
This is a shit movie and a shit
Listen,
script.
No, Jamel, all you needed was 15 seconds of dialogue and Hightower holding the knife going, looking like Dave Chappelle playing Prince when he got called the shirts versus the blouses. That's all you needed. And you would have had a probable cause for whatever the hell happened next. Because there's some supernatural stuff. But we didn't even get that.
Well, that's what I said. Like, if you would have just simply explained that, oh, because of the blood and skull fragments in it, that's why he's now a fucking vampire that he is. That would have made sense. But that was not explained. All I just know is that there was residue. So
did Kickstarter write the dang script too? Because that's what it feels like.
They work what Kickstarter money. But yeah, that's
Spike Lee, like that. Here's my thing though. Like when it comes like the Kickstarter thing. Spike Lee, you're supposed to know better, goddamn it. You've been doing like this was 2015. You've been doing it too damn long. You're supposed to know better. Damn it. Anyway, then we find out that that Hess is a vampire, but not like a cool vampire like Blade or another cool vampire. Like most Draculas are pretty dope. He's not even a mid vampire like Morbius last year. He is a weird ass. He is basically, if you've ever seen like a cat drink milk, that's how they lap up blood. Like they kill people and then they just lap up blood like a cat with a saucer of milk, and it's the weirdest shit.
Yeah,
it is. Also, we get a long shot of Hightower's ass. So, ladies,
we get a lot of ass.
Certain sections of the dudes. You get there's something for everybody in this film. This is a film for the whole family.
We get a lot.
Talk about the vampires that this is the shit Blade would have.
Here's the funny thing, right? So, Dr. Hess Green figures out that he is addicted to blood, right? So he goes to a blood bank. And he is going to donate blood. When the phlebotomist leaves the room, he lights a fire in a trash can, runs out, there's a fire! And nobody stops him like, why'd you start a fire in this room? I left you in the room, there wasn't a fire then. Why are you here now?
Yes.
Nobody ever
they're gonna smell the gas.
And then he just goes in there and Jimmy's open with like a pen, the lock to steal the blood out the fridge. And then he's good for a while. We don't see no problems. But then he goes up to he invites a bunch of rich snobs to his little Martha's Vineyard estate, and he come out doing all the great gas
for the Titanic voyage.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's what I said. That's a part of that unrealistic conversation. They had this whole conversation, and it just felt like it was unrealistic. The conversation. It was like, oh my God, you must enjoy a little bit of that trip in France, and it was very much so unrealistic conversations throughout the whole time. Bro, can we talk about how homegirl took his cup and drank it?
Assholes.
Yeah, I'm about to say, can we talk about how she just took his cup and just was like, oh, this is gross. Go fix his drink so that I can be drinkable for him. And he was like, it's organic.
That shows you. Even in houses that they are not their own, white people will take any advantage to be in charge. Like, oh, cool, I can boss some poor people around, I can boss a minority around. You, brown nigga, come fix his drink. Like, that is, first off, why are you so, like, how close of friends are these people? Because I wish you would take my drink and then tell me, here, have this so that it tastes better. Dog, I like my drink how I like my drink. Why are you bothering me?
I ordered it this way, bitch.
Like, dog, I specify. I went and got this myself, stupid. Anyway,
He
yeah,
did.
at this,
He got it out the freezer himself. He went downstairs, left the party, and he came back, and this broad was
excuse me,
trashed.
this woman.
And
Just,
what makes it worse is the fact that she was so drunk that she didn't realize the taste of blood.
And then after he done came to, so she tell Rami Malek to go fix his drink with a little vodka, black pepper. He tries to drink it and it doesn't go very well. He throws it up.
Yeah.
And then he leaves and he goes into the bathroom. And when he comes out, all of his guests just bugger off. They all leave. Everybody leaves him. He's alone. It makes no sense. Like, was he actually hosting a party or were they just there to say something? And they don't even say anything important enough to like really stick out in your craw. So
they really don't. Like, do y'all remember that scene in Batman Begins when Ra's al Ghul shows up to the party and he presses Bruce Wayne? It's like, hey, scary. We didn't get anything like that. It was just, my guests are just gone for no fucking reason. And why even have the history? Keep going.
I was just gonna say, you know how like you watch a TV show or a movie and they got a sex scene and you just don't think like, are they practicing safe sex? I felt like that for this movie. Where is the context for this? Are they practicing safe sex with this fucking film? Because they did not practice safe at all when it comes to none of the dialogue, none of the interactions, nothing. I never wanted so much more detail in my life. And that was like a fucking missing moment. Because then we get a phone call, not a phone call. We get
out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. But I jumped the gun a little bit. But we get him going out onto the fucking bar. He sees go ahead, what's your girl?
Lucky Maze.
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus. Again, Wire fans, it's Snoop. And she is wearing a wig and a dress. And she's pretending that she likes dick. It is weird. It is a very weird scene.
But like, and the funny thing is, she looks like a cracked out Tiffany Haddish. And then she starts talking, and I'm just like, oh, that's definitely not Tiffany Haddish.
You remind me.
She do full Baltimore accent, saying to a shoe.
I don't like that word. Fuck.
It's vulgar.
You know what I'm saying? What you do? Like, she was talking like a nigga, and I'm supposed to believe that she is for the peen. Like, no. Like, come on now. Be real. Like, dog, be authentic.
If she said, kill the before that moment, I was done at that moment. For real.
Oh, my God. Kill the dick. That's the thing. That's killed it. You killed the dick me. What the fuck?
Wait. Before they even killed the dick part, y'all, we were at 30 minutes into the movie, pretty much. When he first meets her, and he says, "What's your name?" Dick. Do you have a last name, Dick? Long. And they laughed. Are you serious? As cancer. That was the dialogue. He was trying to be fucking cool the whole time. And then
this nigga was trying to be James Bond so bad.
Exactly. He was trying to be Dracula, but like they didn't match none of this stuff up.
Bro, she said
nigga wanted to be Eddie Murphy, a vampire.
And I was like, this is not real.
He literally wanted to be a vampire in Brooklyn, like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
She said, "Anywho, dog." I was like, "Bro, black people don't talk like this."
Anywho. And then, of course, they.
But here's the weird thing, right? So, our Dr. Hess, our main character, meets this broad, this hooker, takes her to the joint, and kills her and drinks her blood.
Yes.
And then he's sitting there thinking about his life or whatever, and she comes back to life. So apparently, because he got stabbed with the Ashanti dagger, anybody that he just regular kills also comes back to life.
Wait.
You killed it in me.
So let's put this in context as well. So when he killed her, he sliced her and then he drank from her first. And then he got sick.
You played too rough.
And then he went and looked in her purse and saw she was taking HIV medication, and he cursed loudly.
Yes, he freaked the fuck out. My Tubi went on commercial. He screamed. when he screamed, dog, it took me went on commercial so quick. I was like, bro, you gonna leave me hanging with 45 minutes of this? Why he screaming? And
the next scene, he at the free clinic with another fake name.
Richard Small.
It's
yeah. So but the part that was funny
Snoop,
about it,
I'm sorry.
He was sitting there and then she came
deserve
back to life and she said, "You killed me." Threw her wig at
And
the
threw
dude.
her wig
At the dude. He fucking jetted out the place, dog. And then you
wait, hold up. It says in the credits she was supposed to be actually Snoop.
Oh, hold up.
Yeah, it says Lucky Mays as Felicia Snoop Pearson.
So, in other words, she was actually Snoop in this movie.
So Snoop got killed by oh Jesus Christ! But
that makes it even worse since she was a lesbian.
Yeah,
and also Snoop was dead. This is 2015. She was dead in Wired. This is stupid. Anyway, let's move on to the next part because Hightower was married. I don't think we found that out. I don't think Hightower mentioned that he was married or estranged or anything like that. So
he said that
out of nowhere.
He said it was ex-wife.
Okay.
He said that she was a proper bitch. That was his
Sure.
Was the joke of
I remember. I vaguely remember that. So sure. Zyra Abrams is Ganja Hightower, the estranged ex-wife of one Lafayette House. These names, these fucking names. It's like the R. Kelly Trapped in the Closet video with weird ass names. One of the niggas in them videos, his name's Sylvester. What the fuck? Anyway. Ganja.
Black people stopped being named Sylvester 70 years ago.
Country ass nigga. Ganja is British, and she calls, and they're okay. She's fine. Zara Abrams is fine. The problem is the material she's given. Ganja's there. Hightower owes her money, and her and Hess, fucking stupid. Her and Hess,
she figured
fall
out
in love.
He was rich, and she was like, "You can get it," and he was like, "Okay." That's pretty much what happened.
I'm gonna ask a question for the crowd, and this
quickly. She folded quick.
This would be a poll question, even as well.
Yeah,
if you met a person, and even if they're rich, right? And this person starts randomly crying after hitting a blunt one time and talking about how he killed people, would you stay there? I'm just saying.
Assume that they're a regular rich person.
Yeah,
that is the least black thing in this movie.
Yeah. God, no.
Then
a lot of rich people got blood in their hands, dog.
Yeah. Now, cool. Let's pass that.
Here's the thing.
Right? Go ahead.
Would a nigga do that? Because that's the thing. It's just like, would a black woman be like, I kill people? Maybe it. You know what? Maybe because it's black women that stay with killers.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That's not necessarily a deal breaker. But the problem is, if you hit the blunt one time, talking about how you done
start crying,
somebody's soul in front of God, that might be a problem. But if you tell me,
that weirds them out.
Somebody did da to my family, and I had to handle business, call the body of it. Well, okay.
Okay, you're right. The killing isn't the problem. His weird ass behavior is, because I think that would scare women. That would scare women more. Like, oh, nigga, is you crying after you hit the blunt?
That would have been more of a deal breaker. But you got to remember, he was a rich dude, so she didn't run. Just, like in 50 Shades of Grey. All these red flags didn't matter because he had money.
What it felt like was, remember we watched a Thin Line, and she was like, I don't want to just have sex with anybody. I need a man, and everything like that. You remember, you need to promise me that you're going to be real. This girl was giving Martin Lawrence all of the signs. Like, hey, stop it. But then when they were about to get down and dirty, we all said collectively, if we in the middle about doing the do, and the girl said, yo, I killed my ex-husband, or I killed my husband, gave this elaborate thing in the middle of us about to fuck, right? All of us was like, yo, I think I probably would just be like, all right. And then leave.
My dick's on strike, dog. My dick's on strike. No, not until I get more information. You gotta. So what had happened, right? All right,
Yeah.
nah, that's not
Why'd
cool.
you do it?
No.
Did he
Why you
deserve
You
do
got
it?
it wrong, but then you caught a body off of it.
Yeah. She was like, yeah. Fuck that dude. He deserved it. Like that's like
Yeah, Ganja and Hess. They start smashing.
yeah. And he
Hess,
freaks out again.
he's a fucking weirdo. He leaves because he got to kill people and survive, and
He freaks
this
the fuck
nigga
out.
is trifling because he killed a woman with a baby, which is like that's fucked
Right,
up, bro.
right. But like here's the thing though. Here's the thing.
That's fucked
So
up.
when
I
Ganja
don't even
meets
got a joke
Dr.
for
Hess,
that.
Ganja meets Dr. Hess, and like the scene after, like the next time he leaves her, it's not really clear because it seems like it's just the next day. So
Yeah.
Ganja calls up Dr. Hess talking about, where's my ex-husband? He owes me money. I heard he was staying at your guest house. Can I stay at your guest house until he shows up? Because he's missing. Because he done unsubscribed from the living subscription.
Yes.
And the very next
He
scene, this
chose
dude's
not
like,
to
all right, I'm gonna
renew his
go. And
life
then
subscription.
he'd talk his way into a woman's apartment and then sucks her blood. And then he just goes back like everything was cool.
Yeah, and you're forgetting the part that like I think you left out that part. She had a kid. He met a woman that had a kid in the middle of the park.
She was in a project, so she didn't matter apparently.
Yeah,
because even he knew that that's where you go to find some minorities that nobody's just gonna care about and miss.
so maybe that's
Be
the
your own
meaning.
people.
Yeah, maybe that was the meaning because he did pick like just like low income like black women.
He picked a prostitute and he
maybe it's a like a fucking metaphor for R. Kelly, I guess. Rich nigga just picked in like underprivileged black women, I
think
guess.
it's just rich people in general. Because a lot, if a rich person picks up a poor person, they tell the poor person, "You do whatever I say," because you're lucky just to be here.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of how it felt. But like the fact that she had a baby was straight savage. And I was like, all right,
you
gotta remember, y'all. And so here's the thing, though. He went back later on in the film to the same woman, and she had killed her baby to drink its blood at some point.
Yeah,
and I don't think the baby came back alive because that baby was not moving anymore.
Yeah,
you killed me.
You killed me,
baby. But here's the thing, though. At no point in time did we see Dr. Hess jonesing until he was on top of a woman. That's the only time we see him jonesing. But other than that, it's not like he feels these flashes. Like you could have had flashes of red, like blood flowing, like the little screamy.
Could have had cravings
to show that,
like
to
in
show
Blade.
that he has a craving. He's got to call like something. Cthulhu was calling me to suck somebody dry, but we don't get any of that. And so it's the most boring vampire movie possible because he don't grow no teeth. It's not apparent, when they need some blood. And we are, as the audience, are left completely out of suspense because we don't feel the craving that the character feels. And the movie's supposed to be about addiction and talking about addiction and how everybody's addicted to something, but we don't ever get to experience how the addiction causes our hero to react. We just watch what he does and we don't know what's going on until they do it.
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons why this movie feels like it's on its heels the whole time, and it's never once like we're on the journey with them. It's just like, hey, you want to see some crazy shit? Because so here's a story about some crazy shit, and that's it. That's the saving grace. Like, and it's not good. It's not good.
This movie feels like it was definitely on business hours. It feels like it was on business hours. It feels like it only happens within the confines of a week, maybe. She tells him that she met Lafayette. Ganja tells Dr. Hess that she met Lafayette in an hour and she got married.
It feels like Lafayette. This whole movie took a weekend. Yeah. And I tell you what, the movie was shot in 16 days. And this is Spike Lee's problem. He needs to take longer to film.
He does do that.
It is so, like a lot of these scenes are straight cringe. A lot of these scenes. And it doesn't make any sense why what's happening happens. And we're never once told. And all Spike really needs to do is sit down, and he could have added 8 minutes to the film, sprinkling in why the characters are doing what they're doing. We don't know why Ganja's a bitch to Seneschal. We don't know why she's a bitch to Rami Malek. We don't know why Hess is out here over, snacking on people all left and right. We don't know what his methods are, what his means are, what his motivation is. We don't know.
Um,
And he just talks about it like it's there, but we never see it or experience it. So this is bad filmmaking because we're not put in the same situation as the main character, even though we're following him along. If we're following him, we should get some of his ideas and motivations, but we get none of that. It is completely disparate of that thought.
I'm gonna ask y'all this question, bro. Do these sound like real names or something that like should be named on the blunt? Dr. Hess Green. That should be which one that is that? That's a real that sound like that a real name, or should that be sound like that's rolled up on a blunt?
Blunt.
Ganja Hightower.
Blunt.
Yeah.
Essential Higginbottom.
Sensual? Yeah, that sounds sexy. It's a blunt.
Yeah. Lafayette Hightower.
Blunt. You high.
Yeah.
Bishop Z.
Blunt.
Nurse Colquitt.
Definitely a
It's a
blunt.
good strain.
You had to quit smoking a cigarette, so come over here and smoke this.
Lucky Mays.
Oh, that's actual cigarettes. Though.
That's cigarettes. That's some old school cigarettes that your great grandma used to drink. Used to consume back in the day.
Water in it and pull that fucking light machine and drop it in. The fucking
baby, go get me a pack of Lucky Mays and a bottle of hooch.
A bottle of Deacon Yancey. That's what you need a bottle of.
You need a bottle.
A little bit of Ripple. Lucky Mays and Ripple.
Sahara Pay singer.
Nurse Royster, Deacon Yancey, Doorman Clemente.
Look, the moral of the story, y'all, is these character names were as ridiculous as their lack of input to the movie, their lack of effect
as the movie.
Actually things happen.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen a movie in which outside sources never mattered more than this film.
Yeah.
Because it really didn't.
So
we get
Wild Ganja.
Go ahead.
Time is not discussed in this movie. We don't know how much time is back.
And that's the
Ganja's still at his place.
What it should have done, it should have felt like they were together for 40 years. And that would have made a difference. You know what I'm saying? And if you just got tired of living and tired of going out and sucking all these people, and he saw the same broad and the same projects 10, 20 years later with the same dead baby, that would have been different.
Yeah.
And that would have been some shit. But we never get an idea as the audience of what the passage of time is. So this shit really felt like a weekend, y'all. A bad weekend.
Yeah.
And that becomes more of an issue because Ganja, baby girl ends up finding old Laffy in the freezer and finds out that, hey, Hess, what the fuck is this? So they have they talk, and at the end, she agrees to fucking marry him because, again, how much time has gone by? And you marrying the dude that Ganja is a poorly written character. Everybody in this movie is poorly written. But yeah, they get married.
The best written character of them all, and she's still poorly written.
And fucking...
That was only because she had a monologue. That's the only reason why. She had a monologue. That was it.
And old Hesse decides, hey, let's this life that I'm leading is fun. Does the same thing to her, and she's also a terrible vampire in this movie. And good God Almighty, it is the fucking power. It is stupid. But we get a bright spot for fans of titties because Tangier, old acquaintance, old flame, old lover of Hess, pops by, he brings her by, and Hess basically harvests this woman to feed to his wife. They have a little lesbian fun time, sesame daddy ass, if you will.
As you know, as one does in Martha's Vineyard.
As one does, and they kill poor Tangy. That is fucked up. Like, can we talk? That is fucked up. Like, this movie, for as bad as it is, there is fucked up shit happening. Like, this poor prostitute was living her life. She got killed to death by this rich asshole. This poor single mother also got killed to death by this rich asshole. And another black woman also gets killed. So, Spike, are you okay? Like, what was going on in 2015 where you decided, hey, you know who needs to be picked on? the little sex workers, single mothers, and black women who are educated. They need to get picked on. Fuck y'all. Yeah. So Ganja's first body is Hess. Is Hess's old flame Tangier, and Tangier also like Lucky, pulls the Undertaker and starts to pop back to life. History. JT,
no. Time out.
Wait.
We got to rewind the tape on the scene.
Yeah.
Because after Hess buries Ganja, he kills her on their wedding night with the same dagger.
Yeah.
Turning her into a vampire or a bloodmonger or what a sucker. What a lapper is really what he turned her into. He turned her
lappers,
into yeah.
They're lappers.
So he turns her into a lapper, and then he brings his friend over, and then they killed a friend. And then here's the thing, though. They're about to go in the forest and bury her, all dressed in black, and the broad starts moving and breathing and stuff. And Ganja goes, wait,
just like
breathing. And he goes, we're all dead. And buries her ass anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't understand this movie at all. I don't.
Logic left us. And folks, to be quite honest with you, this is about this point yesterday. The edibles that I took an edible like 2 hours before this. It was just now starting to kick in. And I was also genuinely sleepy because this movie was very boring. And so I fade in and out for the rest of this movie. I went to sleep for a hot second after Tangier did her Thriller routine. And then when I woke up, the next thing that I saw was Higginbottom, Rami Malek getting killed. So please, gentlemen, fill me in on what happened between that moment and Rami Malek getting aced.
I think it was only like 3 scenes that I don't know, bro. It wasn't important. So Ganja had a scene where she goes in and pontificates or whatever and talks about how she always had to take care of herself since she was a little girl, little Cry Me a River moment. Yeah. And I forgot what she said she was playing. What was she playing, Jason?
Some shit with her brother and her dad was just like, something black women, something.
Yeah, they were just fighting, and older brother started picking on her, and it was the first time that she stood up for herself.
Oh, he punched her in the stomach.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
and even though she was
goddamn, dude.
Brother,
and then her mama came in and tore his ass up, damn near beat him to death.
Because you said that you never
punched her in the gut like an anime character.
You said because the mom said that you never punch a woman in the stomach, even though like she was whooping his ass the whole time.
God damn, that's a weird. That's just weird. Now, son, don't you punch him in the stomach. The face, have at it. Like just
you better kick that woman in the shins, son. Kick her in the shins.
Punch her in the throat if you have to, baby. But the stomach, that's where we draw the line.
The stomach is off limits.
That is off limits. That's where her food lives.
So
smack the titty. Smack her in the titty.
Can I ask a question, gentlemen? It feels like these movies, even though like he make these short movies, it feels like he makes these movies almost like
2 hours and 5 minutes.
3 minutes.
The first thing I said, I ain't gonna lie to you. Somebody needs to tell Spike Lee to stop doing.
You gonna shoot me in the pink tail.
2 hours movies. Somebody needs to tell him before we produce another movie. Is it an hour 30 minutes?
Like if you can't do this, we not gonna support it, dog.
We not.
And to be quite honest with you, the movie would have been better if he just made a straight up horror movie. Like the problem that I think some directors like Spike Lee have is that you want to have a message or an underlying theme in the movie. Sometimes you could have just made a regular ass vampire movie, and that probably would have sufficed because.
But you got hold up, time out though.
What was this shit?
You got to remember, this movie is a Bill Gunn remake. And so what we really need to do is go watch Hess and Ganja and see what that shit is about to see what Spike Lee was even doing with this film. because watching this movie don't make no sense.
No.
And I done watched the movie, and I watched Spike Lee get interviewed about it. They shot the movie in 16 days, which is never a good thing to me. They had a week more on the other movie with Ray Allen. He Got Game. They shot that mug in like 23 days.
Message.
So this movie was a 2-hour film, and there was one good scene. The good scene was the scene at the end where Hess died. He got saved, and he goes and he hangs up a cross in front of a light, and he perishes in its shadow. And that was a good scene. That was the one good scene. Because something finally happened in that whole film.
I get it, but
I hated
the way that he died. No, you gave him a pass because you were literally
trash.
I'm about to say it was very trash how he died because I don't know how he died. That's the problem. All I know is this.
He told you in the book that he was flying the flag out front. He was going to die in the shadow of the cross. That was how his destruction or whatever. He said that in the film. But like the thing is about this film, when they talk, it's not like they're making rules about the world. You know what I'm saying? So like when they just run in their mouth talking about theoretical shit most of the time. And like before Hightower goes crazy, they have a scene talking about, is it sacrilegious to drink blood? And Hess goes, it's more sacrilegious to spill blood than it is to drink it. And
which apparently is,
and that's not a great line. So that shows you the caliber of this film.
the whole movie, they spend the whole movie wasting blood everywhere.
Right.
But
you would think he would cut a wrist and not not waste nothing. But no. Spray it all over the
place. They are sloppy with how they get the blood. Well, you can't really lap it up from the wrist like that. So apparently they like. Go right ahead.
I have to say something about that point. But the first thing is like going back until he died. The reason why I say that's trash, we know that vampires die either by garlic, sunlight, and from being stabbed with silver. Right?
No, I really thought he was going to take communion.
So here's my problem: is the fact that he spent his whole time in a church. He walks around in the daylight. He's a daywalker. He carries a Bible around. So what is his weakness? We talk about this multiple times with Marvel movies. Is the fact that we don't understand people's powers. I didn't understand none of his weaknesses at all. I didn't understand what was none of his problems. So when he was sitting in this shadow room, laying his head on ganja, just dying, how did he go?
I understand this. I understand why Spike did it. So if we're talking about subtext, the scene before he had gone to church and got saved or whatever, hit the altar call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the idea was that Christ saved him from his addiction so he could quit his addiction. Problem was his addiction was blood, which kept him alive. And so since he was broken from that addiction, he perished. And that's why his wife was still there. And so was the naked whore at the other end. It didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense. But it was very stupid. What I really thought was going to happen was he was going to do some communion. He was going to get the sweet blood of Jesus in his little cuppy. And he was going to sip that. And he was going to be like, I'm done. And I've been alive too long now. My body has exhausted itself, and he would have perished and faded away.
Yeah.
That would have made perfect sense and a good movie. I really feel like if I could bite off this film, I would make a badass horror film out of it.
Yeah.
Because I think this movie was very doable and salvageable, but it really seemed like Spike Lee tried to stick too close to whatever the original was.
And also
this also feels like a movie that Spike made.
Jason, y'all
remember. Oh, my bad, man. Go right.
No. No, the last part I was going to say is that like the lapping up. I felt like this was a diminish to black vampires.
Dog, for real.
Because like you think about just like how JT said, you slice the arm. You watch these other vampire films. They make it almost like an art to get the blood from the victim.
Right.
They slice their arms and then they have a cup just draining with them down into the cup. They do the Iron Maiden.
Luis, he was loaded.
So yeah, he no, he already had money. That was like the whole point of it. His family had money from so the question was, did he do it for the money? And he had
Spike
money.
or Hess? Are you referring to Garcia? Who are you referring to, Spike or Hess? Doing this for the
So
money.
you get into my question, my answer earlier, but yes, that is actually was the question I was going to ask you at the very end of this. But yes, ask the question, Garcia. Which one is it? So
Spike.
you, my question is to you is, do you feel the same way? Do you feel like this was a diminish to black vampires? That
Yes.
the only way that they could do it is lap up
Yeah,
blood. This is
Off the
that's
fucking
how
floor
niggas
like
gotta get
dogs,
blood.
bro. Yes, this
yeah.
is bad.
Fucking
And
boy.
I even
Like,
said, I was like, why don't you when the ladies was having a fun, I was like, why don't you just put her blood in the sink and you can just sip that up with a straw? But no, it's just on the ground. What?
I feel like you didn't
that also raises the question: who's cleaning up the floor if he's getting these bodies and just lapping up the blood like that?
Rami
Because
Malek is dead now, but he didn't even come back. So what do we do with his body?
he got killed. It did.
But we didn't even
Yeah,
see the
wait,
resolution with
that's
him, and
fucked up.
he was the coolest dude in the movie.
I felt like Rami Malek character
Yeah.
was kind of like Neo in Matrix, though. Like he was asking all the questions and responding like us to the characters. Like the scene where he fucking snapped on Ganja. He was like, "Do you really need red wine right fucking now when you're not
I like
supposed
that
to be?"
one. He was like,
snapped
look,
on her.
bitch,
He
you
snapped
don't
on
need
her.
everything you think you need right this second.
Yeah, he snapped on her. But I also like the exchange because of the fact that she stuck to her ground in the assholery that she was. So I think that Rami Malek,
Yeah, especially
but
when she apologized and then stabbed him in the back. You gotta
yeah,
watch for them bitches.
Damn.
but I think that like the biggest thing that
Because she's British.
we also should consider
Colonizer.
too. Fuck, goddamn. Oh fuck. So my
She is corrupted.
yeah, she was very fucking corrupted, man. But yeah, I just felt like
You
there
know
was just a
how
lot of
boring a movie has to be if I see women fondling each other, and literally I fell asleep and I was coming in and out of consciousness.
I feel
I
like he makes
woke
these
up
movies
for
for young
real.
bucks.
No,
I feel like he
I
makes these
woke up
movies
this
for
movie.
Go ahead.
What happened is that I woke up and another movie was playing. I thought it was the same movie because there were whole new characters, and it threw me off. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Oh,
And it was
they must
in
have been
Red Hook.
alive so long
Red
they
Hook
lived.
Summer came on Tubi right after that, and that's because all these fucking movies that Spike Lee does have to happen in Brooklyn. And so Red Hook Summer came on, and I'm like, is this the same movie? And I watched it for a little bit, thinking that it was the same movie. I'm like, what happened to the
Jamel, you got to
vampires?
stop doing edibles, bro. You got to watch your
No,
movie. Do the
it
edible
was late at
before and
night
make
too.
sure the edible kicks in while you're watching it at the beginning.
It
I
was
feel
also
like-
late at night, and that's
I feel like
that's also
he makes
affected.
these movies. I feel like he makes these movies for like the purpose of his own like kind of fetish porn in a lot of ways because
Dog, you should have
he
seen how
holds
close
porn.
he was sitting to Ganja Broad during this interview. You're absolutely right.
I feel like he makes. I feel like this is where he's making his
Horny Spike Lee.
Yep.
So before we wrap up on this part on this fucking film, because honestly I don't want to spend a fucking hour. And
I think we're tapped out.
I think we are, because this is a 2-hour movie and it really didn't have no substance at all.
This
fucking
shit could have
South
been a
Park-
half-hour horror show.
Hell yeah. So my question to you is, my biggest question to you is, I felt like this was Spike Lee's ugly side. So we did the good, we did the bad, we did the we talked about a little bit of his philanthropy. Now going into this Velvet Freight Train portion of this, the downright ugly of Spike Lee's legacy.
Former
like-
Velvet Freight Train.
Yeah, former Velvet Freight
Yeah.
Train at this point in time. I feel like
Lost his
this is
Velvet Freight
also-
Train privileges.
I feel like this is also a testament to the fact that does he do these films because they feel good, or do he do these films
Yes.
for the fact that like he wanted to make extra money? And that's what it feels like. It feels like he wanted to do this film
Yes.
to make extra money. And then also on top of that, get his own kind of like insecurities out on these films.
What was his insecurities?
Apparently, Big
Well,
Long.
Spike was a vampire back in like '85, so he insecure about that shit.
Yeah. Ass into this.
Honestly, this is just it. I think we can keep it simple. This is a bad movie, and Spike Lee has a very spotty. Like when you look back on certain actors, you can be like, "Oh, your resume kind of spotty, pimp." With Spike Lee, there is a lot of basura in the Spike Lee catalog, and I don't know if this is the worst because Chirac. There's people who hate Chirac. I can't imagine Chirac being as devoid of content, as empty, and really as pointless as this movie. It is a 2 hour movie, 2 hour and 3 minute movie where nothing really makes sense, nothing happens.
Nothing
The
happens.
acting is terrible. And like that's the thing that stands out. The acting damn near across the board is terrible. Tyrone Williams, he terrible. Zara Abrams at best is okay. Same thing with Rami Malek. Best he's okay. And it's
Passable, passable. He was a valet, so like he didn't matter. Nobody cared about his feelings. It was a bunch of rich black assholes this time who didn't care about him.
Yeah.
it was just shit. And I think that's the best it's shit. I think I posted on Facebook.
That Facebook review, ain't you?
No, here's the reason why I said it was slumper, because again, I fell asleep and
That's a sleeper, my nigga.
That's a sleeper.
It was slumper right there.
That is a sleeper.
I will say this.
No, if
I
you
will
fall
say
asleep, that is an automatic sleeper.
Sleeper.
You cannot give that no more if you fell fucking
That was
asleep.
the rule.
That is
Yes,
the
that was
literal
the fucking rule.
definition.
There are too many voices coming at me right
You
now.
gotta say I
Yes.
fell asleep and I retract
called-
my
The movie was bad. The movie
I got
was
called out on
simply
it. We've all
bad.
had it. We've all had that movie,
So-
bro. On this podcast, where we say,
For real.
"Bro, I fell asleep."
For real.
It's a sleeper automatically because of the fact that we fell asleep. So it's a sleeper at least. For you.
It is in the name.
At the most, yeah, sleeper, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's the collective rating? What do y'all think it is? Sleeper or dumpster?
This movie is a dumpster, bro.
dumpster?
This movie is a dumpster. And I'm telling you, the only way that this movie will have any saving grace is because I'm going to go watch Hesson Ganja and see what the motherfuck Spike was trying to do. Because this shit don't make no goddamn sense.
I say don't, because of the fact that our system, dumpster it is. But I am just going to say, I don't want to offend the dumpster. That's
This is a rat ass film, huh?
This is a rat ass film. So I would say yes, and that is one of the things I'm working on, Candy. I just got to make sure it can work on fucking YouTube. Is the emotes? I don't think the emotes can work on YouTube.
And look, y'all, freeze frame, real talk. We are moving to YouTube next week. Please go over to Historical Voices from the East Side. Subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when we going live. I want y'all to join in over there. I know you all got YouTube accounts. You got Google. So come on over there and move with us next week.
So not next week.
And there are some also fun videos over on YouTube too. I've been putting a lot more shorts on there. There's questions that I try and have on there. Right now, one that's on YouTube is, what are some of your favorite and least liked movie sequels? I've weirdly been in a Rush Hour 2 mood where randomly I just drop lines from that movie alone.
Hello, room service.
Crocskin,
I need you to send me up a bottle of honey and some Red Bull.
Crocskin, buttercream, Crocskin it's been in my head. Who in here know Ricky Tan? It's just every 5 minutes, just something from there. So drop your favorite sequels, drop the sequels that you don't like every Terminator that isn't T2. So go ahead and comment on the video, comment on IG. And we are moving to YouTube starting in July, because July is the month of the blockbuster here on Historical Voices. We are going to be picking movies that are summer blockbusters. Myself and JT are going to be doing the movie picking for that month, so he has to I have two. July is also my birthday month, so final Thursday of the month,
Our
27th of
nigga?
July. Uh,
Why you keep forgetting
yeah,
about me, nigga? I'm right across from you. It's our birthday month.
I if you would hush up for a
I
fucking
was
minute,
born
I
before
was
you
gonna
and I'll be
mention
dead
that
before.
your birth. If you would hush up for a minute, Jason, I was going to mention it was your birth month as well.
It
But
don't hit
you
the
had to
same when
jump
you
the
was only
gun.
going by History W. Now that he got his name out there, your little Jason, all the
Motherfuckers
sting is taken out of it, bro.
trying to
You
show
done
out.
made the skeleton dance.
Anyway,
Yo, Flamin' Hot was so
Jason's
fucking dope.
birthday is also in July.
Flamin' Hot was dope. I would love like that was one of my movies that was considered for my summer blockbuster too. Flamin' Hot was actually fucking dope. But
Is
with
that a
that,
blockbuster though?
it's not a blockbuster though.
Oh,
That's the
never
problem.
mind. Well, damn.
So with
Yeah.
that, Spike Lee has a bunch of fucking movies. His recent one was the Five Bloods. It
Oh
got
shit. Yeah, since we were doing all this promotion stuff. Jungle Fever is the final Spike Lee movie that we're doing next week. And we're
correct.
also going to be doing a review of Netflix's Black Mirror season 6. We're going to be checking that out. So it's a double feature on historical voices from the East Side on next week. We opening it up with Black Mirror. We're closing it out with Jungle Fever.
So it's so hilarious because the fact that the only reason why we do a Black Mirror and we was fucking discussing this before the podcast is the only reason why we're doing this
Polite way
fucking
of
double
saying
feature. It's because of the fact that we are so fucking salty after watching this movie, hence the salty edition. That we was like, nah, fuck it. We can't just do another fucking Spike Lee movie and just hang off of that next time. I just don't trust him no more. So I don't feel like I could give him my heart anymore on my eyes on the screen. But I will say that he does have some fucking hits. Like apparently the Five Bloods was really good. Black Klansman, we did that at the very beginning. That was a very fucking like beautifully done movie in a lot of ways. And
Kitty
then
check.
Kitty Nacho is back. So with that, there was a couple of movies. He's done a lot of shit for like Michael Jackson, done a lot of stuff for Prince. He did the This Is It. He was a director for the music video for This Is It for Michael Jackson. He's done a lot of shit, man. And I wish that we could have done that, the Hugh P. Newton story. That would have been cool. We can't.
You could just pick it. Pick it in August, bro. Pick it in August. We'll do it in August because I like that. I like that. I'm down with that too.
The Hugh P. Newton was really fucking good. That was
that was big time or whatever from last week.
Yeah, that was the monologue. That was really fucking strong. So
my man Robert Gouvier Smith.
Yes. So I fucking liked that film. So he's done some good shit. Is the fact that sometimes the shit that's supposed to be listed as some of his good shit, they have a big asterisk at the end of his actual name. And so the question, also one of the questions I was asked from a person who watched this is, do you think that like his films sometimes is considered almost like misogynistic? That was like one of the questions. And then also insensitive to other shit. Cause like it seems like he's always like, man, fuck females in some of these films. I don't know about y'all. Do y'all feel that way?
Well, I mean,
females.
She's Gotta Have It has a rape scene in it.
Yes.
And it centers on a young woman who is very free with her sexual. I mean,
very fucking fluid with her sexuality. What you got?
I mean, look, I don't know Spike well enough to be like, he's not this or that or the other. After some of the stuff with a lot of celebrities that's come out the last few years, I don't put anything past anybody, but that is disturbing, or that is a little unfortunate because, goddamn, we pointed out in this movie, the victims were all Black women and Black women in more vulnerable. Two of the women were more vulnerable positions. So, that is something to think about.
So yeah, I mean, we've had a voice of a woman that was for Black Klansman, and we all shitted on him we shitted on him, but also praised him all at the same time. But I just DeWanda Weiss was in that one. Anthony Ramos was in the She's Gotta Have It. It's a TV show. If you don't know Anthony Ramos, he's the guy that's the main lead for the new Transformers Rise of the Beast film. And so he plays Spike Lee's character Mars Blackman and She's Gotta Have It. But like that's a good film, but at the same token, they do have some moments where you're kind of like, Spike, what the fuck you doing?
History.
Always.
History. Look at Anthony Ramos's Wikipedia picture.
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of look like the wrestler Zoe Stark a little bit in this picture?
Yeah, I gotta see it. Hold on 1 second. I'll look that up. But so with that, man, collectively all together, we saying dumpster, or are you saying sleeper, Jamal?
It's dumpster. It's bad.
It's dumpster. Yeah, it's definitely. Oh
That
shit,
is a
he
far
does.
cry from what the fuck you put on Facebook. That's all I want to say.
Oh my god, he looks straight up like Zoe Stark. But yeah, but yes, like that is a far cry from what you put up there, because you put Slumper. I wasn't trying to disrespect you or anything. I was just like question mark, like
it felt like you were.
It was really just like a question, like where did you get that from? Like how did you get that from a movie that has a 4.4 on a lot of fucking platforms out of 10? That doesn't feel like that's a Slumper fucking at least level film. So no.
Well, hey, that was yesterday. Today is today.
Now, if you are enjoying this podcast, definitely make sure that you join us on YouTube as well as also on Spotify. Hit that like and subscribe. Definitely rate us. If you rate us less than a 5,
she's not bad. Zoe ain't bad looking, but yeah, that is. I hated that. I pointed that out to myself.
So, I make sure that you actually join on that. Rate us on that actual Spotify. It definitely helps us out, be able to actually become more discoverable. Share us with your friends, man. We are on the goal to grow A Narrative Media as well as also the podcasts such as this one, or Island of Irrelevancy podcast, which is our wrestling podcast that I do with Jamel as well as Trail Harris as well. Also, we do have another podcast called Fuck Around and Find Out. If you like reading and you like learning about some new shit and being able to actually kind of like meditate on some new issues in your life, definitely check out that with Tammy Garrett. With that, gentlemen, we're pretty close to the conclusion of this podcast, man. So I'm going to ask you one simple thing to continue this. What is the saltiest thing that happened to you this week, or that you've seen that happen this week?
The saltiest thing I've seen is these white people talking about Juneteenth, but I'm gonna go into that during the Voice of Reason.
Cool. What about
For
you,
me? It's some unfortunate stuff that's been happening to a highly touted NBA player by the name of Zion Williamson.
Damn.
It is a lot. All I will say is this: fellas, pick the women that you choose to have as your side chicks more careful. And if you are a side chick, know you're a side chick. In the immortal words of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, know your role. That's as simple as that. You ain't the main chick. Bitch, he was not gonna marry you. Just accept that. He didn't love you for real. He was young. He was stupid. Boy is barely out of his. He ain't even 25 yet. He's young, dumb, and his penis thought for him. So he didn't love you. And it is in the class of 2019, that NBA draft. They are him and John Morant, Jordan Poole getting punched by Draymond Green, and he can't play right unless it's a thought in the front row. It is all bad. But yeah, choose the women that you have as your side chicks more careful.
Yeah. So
damn, you from New Orleans too. My bad.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans. Yeah, you mean it's okay. So I've had a couple of salty things that actually happened this week, man. That I've seen, and some of them on the great internet that we had. One, of them being from an actual trailer reaction that we've had with the movie being announced, which is Craven. Now, if you don't know who Craven is a villain of Spider-Man and Punisher and so on. The whole premise of Craven is that he's a master hunter. So think about the human version of what I guess you would say. He's just a guy who likes to go fucking hunting like exotic things. So when Spider-Man became an 8-legged freak because he transformed because of the mutation from the spider, he went to go try to hunt after Spider-Man. That type of shit. He go find like some really wild exotic stuff. He went to go hunt fucking Black Panther at one point in time. Craven just did some wild ass shit at one point in time. So they just announced Craven, the film, and it's with Aaron Taylor Johnson. If you don't know him, he's the guy who plays Kick-Ass in the film Kick-Ass.
He's also the worst speedster in live action, and I'm saying that even after The Flash, he's still the worst live action speedster because he was Quicksilver.
100% right, my brother.
Yes, dog. He's the worst fucking dog.
How you die? How do you die because you got hit by some shit when you were speedster?
Named Quicksilver. And your name is Quicksilver, which is named after a bullet.
And see, here's the thing about the actors, dog. If I'm an actor, if you got me in here as Quicksilver, I am bitching. I am pitching a straight bitch fit that you tried to have Quicksilver killed because he pushed a car in front of some people and then got shot. Like he wouldn't just hide behind the car too. God, dog, Age of Ultron sucks.
But see, here's where like the boys did better at a speedster versus fucking Marvel, because we see in the very first like 5 minutes of the boys, Frank A-Train ass fucking ran straight through that girl and was like, "I'm sorry," came out clean.
Robin.
Sure enough.
Bro.
Oh, Robin. She got turned into Jello. Just evaporated on the streets on the side. Ooh, The Boys is coming back soon with season 4. So yeah, that's some happy news.
Real. You can't tell me that shit was A-Train just fucking ran through that girl, bro. Left your man with the hands and the.
He really is the worst live action speed. God damn, the worst speedster in live. Sonic's better than him. Flash is better than him. The best Quicksilver is better than him. A-Train, Pikachu, dog. The Road Runner would have got them two and dipped out.
In that shit.
Dog, I was reading the comments for the fucking podcast, bro. I posted it to y'all. Bro, they said, bro, this looks like it's going to more harder than Morbius. If he will be a part of the Avengers Secret Wars, as we know it's a multiverse movie, Wanda will be shocked it's her twin brother. It's Craven time. Honestly, I thought it's Morbius without the special effects. Just replace the bat with lion's blood.
What's the difference? For crying out loud. Like,
holy shit, it's the same fucking plot.
Listen,
oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you this one last time. I'm sick of these comic book movies thinking that what happens in the comic books is too far out and they got to make it more realistic.
Oh my
You dig?
God.
It's a comic book movie. We came here to do some make-believe. Let's go. Give me some nerdy
just
shit.
did this with
I'm not scared of it. No, now you got an irradiated lion and that I happened to stab him and he didn't already gouge me and so our blood mixed by a drop or whatever. Why is it a drop? Why didn't you kill the lion and the lion laid down on you and then your blood mixed for a while you bled out and then you got back up? No, it's one drop, y'all. One drop is all it takes to be a superpowered person in Sony's universe. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Like, we all know why Sony are doing these movies.
Look, the problem is they don't get we down with the nerddom. We down with the nerddom. We are here for it. And they keep trying to pull punches because they're like, no, that's too nerdy. It's too nerdy. Nigga, we are here. We paid money to go see it in droves. Give it to us.
Man, She-Hulk on this one.
For real.
Bro. Y'all.
Bro.
That's the thing. So, again, Sony's doing these movies because they want to hold on to the Spider-Man rights for everything that they got because they don't want them to go back to Marvel, aka back to Disney. So we are getting these stupid ass Spider-Man villain movies, and it's weak because Spike. Look, let's 100% lay up the cards on the table. There's maybe 2 or 3 villains in all the comics where it's like, okay, I can follow that dude for a whole movie, a whole series, something like that,
Nah,
because
no,
they
there's
got
more than
enough
that.
narrative strength.
There's more than that. The
In
problem
my
is
for
people
me,
who know it.
the top shelf dudes that Victor Von Doom, you can do a series about.
Show enough.
Joker, you can do one. Not the shit that happened in
Yeah, and
2019.
Suicide
You
Squad.
can if it's
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
But the problem is that so many of these villains are connected to their heroes, and it's like there's no Black Panther, there's no Spider-Man for Craven to interact with. Craven is not a big enough name brand to be like, hey, let's give him an independent flick.
No,
He ain't.
because look, a story is only as good as its antagonist, as the obstacle that the hero overcomes. So why are you giving us a villain with no hero to overcome? That's why your movies suck, Sony. You forgot how to tell a story.
This is the curse
just like
of Thanos
Spike
and
Lee
Joker.
did with this bullshit.
This is the curse of Thanos.
Thanos was the focus of Infinity War, but he was an actual good character, and he had the heroes that were in the movie.
Wasn't. Nah.
Thanos in Infinity War.
Here's the problem with Thanos, bro. Nobody called his shit out to his face. Nobody was like, well, if you get the Infinity Gauntlet, why don't you just make the world like twice as big and then like there's twice as many resources? No, like, why did he not think of that? Why did nobody call him on that shit? Why did nobody try to tell him what you're doing is stupid? There's other ways to do it. And he was like, nah, you don't understand. There's never
what he did to the Hulk?
other ways.
Did you see
know what I'm
he did
saying?
to the Hulk? I would say go ahead, let's do this too, bro. Let's go divide the fucking universe. Bro, he folded Hulk so quick, dog, with a 3-piece of the fry. Dog.
With hardly even a Power Stone, dog. He didn't do that. That was
that
regular
nigga
Thanos.
a 2-piece.
That was the Titan
spicy,
Thanos
extra biscuits dry. And he was just like, nah, you get no drink.
Hold up, homie. That's disrespectful to Hulk. Hulk would have put up a fight.
He beat the shit out of Hulk.
What should have happened is Hulk should have been getting the upper hand, and Thanos should have activated his Power Stone, and then it was unfair. That would have been fine. That would have been okay. But they didn't do that shit, and Hulk got hold out because Hulk is a bitch in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's the problem.
Hulk's a bitch.
They made him a bitch. It wouldn't have been like if Hulk tried to get his lick back. Hey, I'm all for it, but the problem is that they bitch talk out. Hulk got his ass whooped thoroughly and then did not want to appear again. He was just like, nah, that nigga hit too hard. And he was just in Banner the whole time. And it was just like...
He didn't show up until after fucking Thanos was gone in the fucking next movie.
Useless ass.
And he didn't even put on some glasses and
we had to get Professor Hulk. We had to get Professor Hulk because Hulk didn't show up.
Oh my god.
Whack.
Bro.
Shit was trash.
He beat that boy Hulk into education.
For real.
Beat that nigga into turning his life around.
Dog.
You're right. That was like better than the course of Alcoholics Anonymous right there.
Bro, he beat him quicker
than Jesus.
Beat his ass so bad he turned into a motivational speaker.
Turning the life around, y'all.
Can't do what? No, you can't. It's too late.
And then Hulk's son showed up. The cut that fucking Scar had in She-Hulk might be the most disrespectful thing to a Hulk ever. Look up Scar and She-Hulk and look how they did my boy's hairline. They fucked him up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Craven is gonna it's a movie that's gonna happen. Niggas is gonna see it. Why not? Why not? At the end of the day, isn't it?
So Craven, the thing that they said, people was wilding out because they said that, like, man, they must have ran out of actors. The movie does look passably entertaining, but the chances of him being an actual proper anti-hero, let alone villain as suggested by this tagline going by Sony's previous track record, is incredibly slim. Because think about it like this. JT, I think that you posted this, man, is we had not only the film Venom, but we also had Morbius.
Venom.
What I posted was a picture of Doc Manhattan. The year is 2019. I just watched a mediocre Sony film of Venom. The year is 2022. I just watched a mediocre Sony film of Morbius. The year is 2023. I just watched a mediocre Sony film of Craven the Hunter.
Yeah.
And like it just feels like repeat. And
Yes.
this shit feels like exactly what Sony has tried before, and they're not trying anything new.
Yes.
It's bad.
It's very bad. So
Yeah.
I think that the industry is not understanding what is supposed to be the standard.
The industry needs good writers, bro. They on strike.
Shit.
Support the writer. Although, to be fair, this shit was written before that strike. We can't.
I'm about to say that. I'm about to say
they had a bad day at the office with this one.
So here's my thing. I think we had this one conversation a while back about like why you should fucking pay for people to have like their shit, and then also on top of that, like what's the true value of like the content that we have. And I think JT went on to say it about like, and basically don't invest in these companies who are just writing their just random shit. But I also feel like we should really have like somebody who is watchdogging not only our politics but these fucking films, because some of these fucking films though that they putting out, bruh, they strongly mediocre. They're not. They are about as strong as
intensely mediocre, dog. For real,
they're about as strong as absolute.
On it. We must be mediocre.
Yeah, they're about as strong as absolute vodka with a bunch of water in it. So I would just say
the absolute vodka you took from your parents, you had to fill that mug back.
Yeah, we'll fill it back up with water, dog. It's about as strong as that shit. So I feel like the accountability also needs to be held on the people who write this shit and who these directors who get fucking free reign with this shit. I blame not a lot of the writers. I blame fucking directors. We got the same 6 or 7 directors, just like we got the same fucking 5 or 10 actors. And we need to start holding on to those motherfuckers. And we need to start holding people accountable. Ta-Nehisi Coates, Michael B. Jordan, you want to look for a black Superman? You had him in Icon. And I talk about Icon every fucking time we do a podcast and we talk about superheroes when it comes to black Superman. Icon is right there. Milestone just did a whole fucking thing for the DC Comics convention that they had like about a year or 2 ago. Static Shock. People are looking for Static Shock. People are looking for these other things. But at the same token, we need new fucking characters. And that's what the boys stood out versus all the rest of these fucking little men, the little grown men version of these cartoons, which is
I
like
want to see
DC
a Static Shock Black Lightning crossover so bad.
Bruh, and the Black Lightning was a fucking mentor to Static Shock, which would have been
I want to
so
see
good.
that so
because
bad.
it would have been just as perfect at DC had its Peter Parker Spider-Man or Peter B. Parker Spider-Man and Miles Morales with fucking Black Lightning and Static Shock. Because that's the whole thing about Peter B. Parker. Remember, you just swing and it would just swing, and it was holding a fucking monitor while they were just swinging, and like Peter B. Parker was teaching Miles Morales how to be a Spider-Man. You could have had that with Black Lightning, who basically he's a generator of power, right? And you have person like Static Shock who can naturally make this power. Bruh, it'd have been so wild, dog. And then you could have, the story writes itself because Static Shock is Virgil is the same age as Black Lightning's daughters. So you could have had Lightning meet fucking Virgil.
Meet Dave.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Dave,
Virgil.
Bone, knock up, drama.
Exactly.
It's one of those things where it does seem as simple. And I think that the Static Shock character is set up inherently in the bones of the character to explore issues that do affect teens. And it's just hot bone. But yeah, it's
so many messed up parts. Though.
It is what it is, but
stop.
My thing is this:
write some new shit. Go ahead.
Here's my thing. When it comes to ultimately, when it comes to Craven, when it comes to the superhero movies that we get in this year, I think this year has been weird because of the major live action superhero movies that we've gotten, really so far they ain't really hitting on much. Guardians Volume 3 and Spider-Verse are carrying it because from a quality perspective. And Blue Beetle, I don't have I'm hoping that Blue Beetle is received well, but I'm not expecting it to make a whole bunch of money at the box office because it was originally meant to be direct to HBO Max, and then they like apparently studio like what they saw and decided to make it a theatrical cut. I love the Blue Beetle character. I think, hey, more Hispanic characters, more underserved characters, bring them into the limelight. But it's just, it feels like we're nearing an end point for superhero stuff.
Correct.
Because from what I've been hearing, Secret Invasion wasn't really hitting on much, but I'll wait to judge that once I actually see it. I'm gonna wait till this whole season drop, but I'm not sure where it's gonna go within the next year, within the next 2 years, the superhero movie thing. But regardless, I think that's about it. That's all I had to talk about for the week. And
so
yeah,
I want to say that like
hopeful.
Blue Beetle gonna be look nice, man. I think that like Blue Beetle is gonna be surprising for a lot of people, and also from what apparently the rumors is Blue Beetle is supposed to actually carry over into the new DC universe.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I meant to say. And since I'm recommending you don't see it, I'm gonna give you one big spoiler. It's not the Flash isn't really a Flashpoint story. It's a Flash story that involves time travel. There's a difference. If you are familiar with Flashpoint, or if you've seen the animated movie Flashpoint Paradox, which hey, that's on HBO Max or Max. Go ahead and watch that. That's an actual good Flash movie centered on the Flash, has Flash characters.
That's
But
great.
this one, it isn't one of those movies where it's like, oh, I have to see it. It's why I think Aquaman is also in kind of a no-win situation because we know this Shazam and Aquaman are from the before times, and I feel like these movies are kind of dead on arrival. Unless Aquaman just comes through with the heat, it's gonna be dead on arrival. And Blue Beetle really is like, hey, this is kind of the future that we're trying to build towards. But we'll see next month or in August when the movie drops.
Oh no, it's okay. So with
Peace,
that,
Garcia.
man,
We're about to wrap up for the night anyway.
yeah. With that, man. Don't forget to actually join us. Giving you kind of like a 2 weeks notice. Sound right now. Next week is our last week on Twitch, and then the following week after that, we will be on our new home, YouTube. And I'm thinking about seeing if I can cross stream the fucking caffeine in some kind of way. But also, you can see. You can actually find us on. You can find us on Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts from. Audio podcasts from. So Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music. With that, when we go through some crazy times and apologize. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe as well, and make sure that you let us know what you.
Also, be on the lookout next week. Apologies, didn't want to step over you, but also be on the lookout next Wednesday because we're back for the Island of Irrelevancy podcast with a Money in the Bank 2023 preview taking place next Sunday or next Saturday, I should say, live London, England. I am going to be doing a live stream of that one. So watch along, have some fun. I'm not going to London because broke, but I will be watching the premium live event on Saturday. So stop by my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/Eastside at Eastside Review 727. And next Wednesday, the preview show is on the Historical Voices channel here on Twitch, and then it will be available later on YouTube at youtube.com at HVFE Podcast.
Yes. So with that, also join our Facebook group as well. It's under Historical Voices from Irrelevancy Facebook page as well. Join our group. We should be restarting the draft soon. I won the motherfucking draft, so I'm proud of this. So we're gonna move on.
All right, so JT, what's the reason for the week?
Well, tell me more about this draft history. I'm interested.
So we actually
You wouldn't be. It's wrestling related.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
We actually have a wrestling draft, and so we keep counting points on who wrestles this week. And on top of that, we actually do a prediction as well. You get a bonus.
You don't have everybody wrestling every week. That doesn't make any sense. Wrestling is stupid.
First off, yeah, but I'll explain. So each of us has. I'll kind of explain the logic of us. Yeah. Each of us has a roster. We have a roster of 6 people, and that person wrestles that week and gets a win. See,
look, if you like wrestling, watch this show.
JT, no.
I tuned in once. I just didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Stop that, JT. You asked. You shouldn't have.
Oh God! I dislike.
So what's the voice of reason this week?
I got you. All right. So listen.
Yes. Go.
Juneteenth was this week, y'all, and I need you to understand that June 19th, 1965. Turn that down a little bit, and give me full screen, will you? June 19th, 1965, 1865 rather, was the day that all of the slaves were finally free. Now, what I want to show you here is some dumb motherfucker talking about what they think about Juneteenth. This is Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is of the Turning Point USA. That is his organization. And he says if Juneteenth was really about emancipation, why not September 22nd, 1862, when Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation? Or January 1, 1863, when the proclamation took effect? Or December 18th, 1865, when the ratification of the 13th Amendment? Because it's not about emancipation, which was one of America's greatest moral achievements. You mean like balancing acts, actually. America got to parity. It's about creating a summertime race-based competitor 2 weeks before July 4th, which should be the most unifying civic holiday on the calendar. Let me tell you why Charlie Kirk can eat a bag of dicks. So first off, all of these right here, this is about what the government did. Juneteenth is about what actually affected Black people at the time. Does this make sense, y'all?
Correct. Yes.
So, we have a holiday about when people were actually impacted. And if you can't understand that, well, then you really don't deserve to be celebrating. This is why we know Charlie Kirk can't get no goddamn plate at the barbecue, y'all. He ain't invited to the cookout. He a hater. But his whole thing, Charlie Kirk thinks there's a war on white people in America. Oh my God. Right, you gotta sigh hard. Like there's no other reaction if you actually know what's going on. There's no other reaction. But this shit right here made me sick, y'all. This really pissed me off. Because a lot of people out there, this is the shit that Candace Owens is sucking on. She's sucking on this leech right here. And this is the shit that she thinks. Candace Owens said that Juneteenth is a ghetto holiday. How is it a ghetto holiday? There's nothing ghetto about the fact that the last of the slaves were actually free years after the Civil War. Years after the Emancipation Proclamation took effect. It was almost 3 years after Lincoln made that Emancipation Proclamation that the Black people in Galveston, Texas were finally free. Can you imagine being on your plantation and having Union soldiers roll up and saying, hey, y'all, pack a bag, you out of here. Oh, no, Lincoln, a couple years back, he done declared that all y'all was free. You've been sitting here working for free for the past 2 years. I would have gone in there and strangled Master myself. I went on the way out. I swear. Next thing. You want to know if racism is still alive? I'll prove it to you right here. Tennessee County Commissioner Joe Carr calls Juneteenth a woke holiday. He says Tennessee shouldn't give these people an inch. Listen, there's nothing woke about Juneteenth, y'all. It's historical. Juneteenth is not political. Juneteenth is a celebration of when black people were actually free. And this dude over here, Card, doesn't understand or appreciate that. Anybody that you know who doesn't get what Juneteenth is actually about, please break it down to them. All y'all color people out there watching, I need you to help me with this, because these folks don't understand why this is the Black People's Independence Day, because it's the day that we were all finally free. That makes a lot of sense to me. Y'all got July 4th. That's great for a country. But as far as the country went in 1776, a whole bunch of black people were free. We had 113 years after that, right? Come on now. This isn't right. It's not right. It weighs on my heart that I even have to say this. But there's still racism in America. And when you see stuff like this, people dissing Juneteenth, people thinking that Juneteenth is some kind of woke holiday. No, it's just American history. And let me tell you, the people who don't like you learning historical facts, they're the ones trying to hide something from you. So do your research, share your research, let people know. And when knowledge reigns supreme, there is nothing that can hold you down. These people count on ignorance. They need your ignorance for you to participate in their bullshit. And if you're not ignorant, if you actually know what's going on, you can't possibly participate in this ridiculousness. Charlie Kirk's still Turning Point USA. You can't possibly participate if you're not ignorant, if you really know what happened. So I encourage all of you to go out there, educate yourself, and I hope you all had a happy Juneteenth. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please be with us next week. It's our last week on Twitch, and then we'll be moving over to YouTube, our new home. So come visit us over there, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.